In this video, I will tell you top 10 horror movies of all time. So let's start.
Get your fucking hands up.
Number 10. It, 2017. Clown phobia is a very genuine dread, even if announcing it has become so prevalent that it feels phony. If you need any more proof, consider the box office success of It, based on the Stephen King novel of the same name, which broke the Exorcist's 44-year record as the highest-grossing horror picture of all time. Andy Muschietti's big-budget remake used nostalgia to convey the narrative of traumatized youngsters, while Bill Skarsgård's portrayal of Pennywise the Wicked, shape-shifting clown was strange and scary in all the right ways. With a fair dosage of jump scares, a few stunning set pieces, and some top-notch CGI, you've got a horror flick that's both entertaining and terrifying. Number 9. Insidious, 2010. Although James Wan and Patrick Wilson worked together on The Conjuring, they first collaborated on the spooky thriller about a young child who slips into a coma and learns to channel a demonic ghost. The plot itself wasn't very innovative, but regular Wan collaborator Lee Wannell instilled it with the captivating mythology that produced 3 additional chapters. Number 8. Sinister, 2012. Director Scott Derrickson had a few horror films under his belt before joining the MCU with 2016's Doctor Strange, a handful of which garnered cult followings. One of them was a small-scale haunted house possession story about a true crime writer who transfers his wife and kids into a house where a family was killed, only to learn the new residence may already be occupied by an evil tenant. C. Robert Cargill was said to have been inspired to write the script after having a nightmare after seeing The Ring, and the story does have a passing resemblance to that picture, what with the eerie snuff film perspective. But for many who saw it, the dramatic reveals and creepy set pieces far outweighed any recycled genre tropes that might have been present. Number 7. Halloween, 1978. The film that made all-time scream queen Jamie Lee Curtis famous and placed John Carpenter on the map comes in at number 7. Halloween is often recognized as one of the early examples of the slasher genre as we know it today. And while it lacks the realistic gore that we've come to expect from films in that genre, it nevertheless manages to pack a lot of suspense and some imaginative shocks into a pretty tiny package. The film's legacy is also untouchable. Michael Myers' mask has been legendary, and the enormous unstoppable murder and the final girl have become part of the horror lore. There's a reason the franchise has survived for almost 40 years. Number 6. The Ring, 2012. It's always a challenge to take something that works well in one culture and try to adapt it well into another. But Gore Verbinski did it with The Ring. Verbinski's adaptation of Japanese filmmaker Hideo Nakata's famous horror about a cursed VHS preserved the original film's remarkable visual picture: the ghost of a young girl in a white dress with long black hair hiding her face, and found that it terrified viewers worldwide. While it wasn't as well received as its predecessor, it boasts a passionate performance by then unknown Naomi Watts, and it served as a gateway to East Asian horror cinema for many. Number 5. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. The dirty atmosphere of Texas Chainsaw helped give it an aura of reality, making it all the more terrifying, while Gunnar Hansen's Leatherface paved the way for the other brutes like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. Several attempts have been made to resurrect the series, and another is on the way, but none have come close to matching the original in terms of raw, over-the-top, power tool-inspired fear. Number 4. The Shining, 1980. Hundreds of Stephen King's novels and tales have been adapted for the big screen, and some of them, including Carrie, Misery, and Pet Sematary, are now regarded as masterpieces. And that doesn't even include non-horror films like The Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me. But Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining, it unquestionably is the best of them all. The Shining is a masterpiece of set and production design, as well as a very unsettling twist on the typical haunted house theme with a slew of unforgettable imagery and an iconic Jack Nicholson performance. The film's few jump scares are still terrifying, but its true strength resides in the way it gets under your skin and lets you feel Jack Torrance's gradual spiral into lunacy. It's widely regarded as one of the best horror films ever made, and it came in 4th place in our survey. Number 3, The Conjuring, 2013. With films like Saw, Dead Silence, Insidious, and this inspired by true events chiller based on the experiences of real-life paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, James Wan has cemented his place among the current masters of horror. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga play the Warrens, who are most known for their work on the bizarre case that inspired the Amityville horror films. They anchored the great jump scares and freak-out moments with a genuine world weariness. Wan and his co-stars discovered new fear in traditional genre cliches, resulting in a complex cinematic world that is only getting bigger. Number 2, Hereditary, 2018. Ari Aster's feature-directional debut, a dark family drama on the nature of loss, couched within a supernatural horror thriller, created a big splash. Toni Collette's slow ratcheted up 11 portrayal as befuddled mother Annie earned her a place in the pantheon of epic Oscar snubs. But the film's biggest shot came courtesy of, well, we won't ruin everything here. To say the least, Hereditary struck such a chord with viewers that it immediately elevated Aster to 2nd place. Number 1, The Exorcist, 1973. William Friedkin's adaptation of the eponymous novel about a demon-possessed child and his attempts to exorcise the demon became the highest-grossing R-rated horror film ever, and the first to be nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, as well as receiving 9 other nominations and 2 trophies. Apart from its critical and economic success, the picture is well known for the enormous frenzy it sparked across the country. From protests over its contentious subject matter to audience complaints of nausea and fainting. Its dramatic pace and slightly antiquated effects may appear quaint in comparison to other recent horrors, but there's no disputing the film's impact over those who experience it for the first time. To cap it off, even in outlandish stories, the finest horror films generate empathy with individuals in familiar situations. The more we believe what we see, the more our unconscious, instinctual reflexes will take precedence over our conscious, reasonable minds, amplifying the exquisite pleasure we desire.
If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you get updated on videos like this in the future.